Yeah, well, like I'm taking over, man.
Hey, we fired you.
Yeah, well, yo, guys, like I'm taking over this podcast as well. Like it belongs to me now.
Joey,
Yeah,
welcome to the 20th Avenue podcast, Papa.
yeah. Thank you for having me.
Is this what intro with Daganayang? It's
Huh?
an invitation, is it?
Yeah, well, like I'm taking over, man.
Hey, we fired you.
Yeah, well, yo, guys, like I'm taking over this podcast as well. Like it belongs to me now.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, like I'm a guest here, man. Like, it feels good to be a guest for a change, eh?
The hunter becomes the hunted.
Yeah, dude, like I think, dude, like this is my okay, yeah, dude, like this is obviously like my first ever podcast session as a guest, and this is my I'd say third interview, like ever since ever since my podcast hit up and all that, so dude, like it's always strange whenever like you get an invite to be a guest and all that, because dude, like I'm used to inviting people.
Yeah. Because when we called, we were like, this guy is busy. From what I don't know, my schedule is only free next month or next year.
Something of that sort. But guys, like for you and for this platform, I mean, dude, like they do what I do, so like they're basically my colleagues. I mean, dude, like you are basically my colleague. So no matter what, I have to create time because I'm one person who doesn't believe in competition. I believe that like we should collaborate and all that and help each other out to grow. Like if I can come and contribute to your craft, let me let it be. And if ever I would need you in future, like I would expect the same from you.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, we're brothers.
Yeah, dude, like at the end of the day, like we are brothers, and there's no room, like especially us, like that's something that I always say about creatives and BW, like there's no room for us to be on some bullshit, to be on some dude, like this guy, yada yada, I don't wanna work this guy, this and that, yada yada. And for us podcasters, dude, like we need to stick together, like we need to stick together like that, because you know how our industry is, and how like that view, like how people view us and all that. So like we should definitely contribute towards each other's crafts and platforms and all that. Like you say, at the end of the day, we are brothers, we are sisters. Like we are one people, dog. Like we are one big happy family. Yeah, but are we happy though?
No, we happy. But how did that view? How do they view us, bro? Like how do they view us? Because you kept on emphasizing this when we're driving, coming to the studio.
Yeah, I get it. Like I mean, like podcasting is a new thing here, and you know how black people usually gravitate towards change or towards a new thing. It's either they gravitate towards something quickly, or like they are slow, or kind of like they develop some sort of attitude towards it. I mean, right now, like this some sort of attitude towards podcasting and all that, but like especially my podcast, like there's that some sort of attitude towards it from like a number of people. But don't get me wrong, guys, like in general and overall, like I'm receiving all the love, like I'm not complaining, but still, dude, like there's that sort of podcast overview, stuff like that, and I've been hit up by by a number of aspiring podcasters and other podcasters like who are already existing. Like they would ask me how am I able to maneuver through this, because when I like that having a very difficult time going around it and all that, because when they like that, speaking of the same view, what like I'm talking about it right now.
Which challenges are we facing though, like as podcasters? Like I know the challenges that we're facing, but it will be much more nicer like if also we hear from your own perspective.
Like as podcasters.
Yes.
Like should I say like the social, economic, or
everything?
personal,
That's how it affect our operations as podcasters.
Yeah. Well, like the first one, like that I would have to mention is economic part, Yeah, like we have a huge challenge in Botswana, like as podcasters, because right now, like you see big corporates they wanna have their own podcast.
Yeah.
Like instead of supporting already existing podcasts, instead of putting marketing that stuff on already existing podcasts. I mean, there's no need for corporates to have podcasts. Imagine you go in SA and then there's MTN podcast or Netbank podcast or you get it. Or you go in the USA, there's Pepsi podcast.
Yeah.
Or there's you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the main challenge. I mean, corporates are competing with us here instead of working with us. They want to have the imagine this. Imagine imagine there's a radio station and then a corporate wants to have a radio station.
Yeah.
You get it, or a TV station.
Mm-hmm.
You get it. But with podcasts, that is quite impossible. For them to do that.
Mm.
But with podcasts, to you corporate wants to have their own podcasts, and I feel for me that is totally off, and it never works out. Hey,
it never works out.
Yeah, it never works out because they've tried it before, but we've seen a number of corporates, trying to have podcasts and all that, and it never works out because all they do is sell. I mean, no one would just sit down and watch. There's a reason why infomercials it's just short. You get it, a minute long or something, because no one would watch a 30 minutes or an hour podcast of marketing or something be sold or something. You get it? Yeah. The reason why there's a reason why they never work out. Okay, let me see this. Let me say this. They should take note from it. It should show them they don't have to have podcasts. You get it? I mean, we already have the 20th Avenue is here, Overview podcast is here, and other podcasts out there, and other creatives out there, they have their different platforms and all that. You get it? So that's where you should market your items. So for me personally, and economical wise, and just in general, I mean, there's just no use of a corporate having their own podcast, because at the end of the day, you are competing with podcasters from scratch without any financial backup or whatsoever, and instead of making a big value chain, now there's unnecessary competition. You get it?
So it's more of they're taking our style.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I see there's one telco.
Yeah.
A telco giant which has a podcast.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because maybe that's our next sponsor.
Yeah, exactly.
So you
get it.
Put date and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A podcast is whereby people share their opinions and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like what you're doing. It's not a place whereby you talk about products or services.
Exactly.
Rather have information or 3 minutes.
You get it.
And then go to Joey. Joey has his podcast. There's the Monday episode. It's either some episode Monday or the Friday one.
Yeah.
On Monday you see your airtime. On Friday it's the celebrity edition.
Yeah, the guest edition.
Yeah, the guest edition. Because there's guests, they come with their own value and market.
Yeah.
That's why you saw maybe your new policies, if it's an insurance company, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're basically giving them ideas here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So there's no need to compete with. I mean, I'm saying, go to other countries. You will never see an MTN podcast there, or a Netbank podcast, or Outsurance podcast, or you would never see that. You go to America, you'd never see I don't know, what are the biggest brands in SA, in USA that we can think of? Amazon podcast or Facebook podcast or whatsoever.
Yeah.
You get it? Yeah, they market that stuff in other podcasts, not other podcasts, but already existing podcasts. You get it?
Product placement and stuff.
Exactly. Product placement, verbal mentions, could do there's just a way of segments, there's so many ways of going around it, but in bots we know how people baratang attention, they want to be the celebrities and all that, so they will obviously suggest we should have our own podcast and all that, stuff like that. I bumped into the other guy some other time, and then he works for a certain corporate, you know. Yeah, so like he was telling me, yo dog, hey man, like as you've seen, dude, like yeah, we've been having our own podcast and it's not working out, yada yada. So you know, yeah, I think I don't know, like we should sit down and then you tell me how do you do it. And then I was like, dog, like the answer is simple. You cannot be a corporate and then you want to have a podcast. Imagine a corporate wanting to have their own radio station or their own TV station. You get it?
Rather sponsor a radio show.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, like they rather place segments there, you know, like they place adverts there or they sponsor the radio show. And this is how it works with podcasts as well. You know, yeah, like that's basically that.
How's your experience? Have you approached any corporates?
Huh?
Have you approached any corporates so far?
Well, yeah, I have, and yeah, I've had a number of them approaching me as well.
Okay.
You know, yeah, and you know, yeah, some like most of, like the ones that have approached us, most of them, you know, we didn't like haraju malana ka like a khanya or like how to carry out content and all that stuff like that, because you know like we wanted to be natural, like we wanted to be for the people. You get it? Yeah, and yeah, some I have approached and do like yeah, they've jumped in, and others who have approached us as well, you know, yeah, like they've jumped in. I mean, like if you watch our podcast, you know, do like there are times where we do product placements, you know, there are times where we do verbal mentions, there are times where we market, you know, and currently like we have a sponsor. Like our sponsor is Kanako, like a company that deals with industrial and commercial equipment. You know, so yeah, like it's basically working out for us here. But yeah, obviously, dude, like I would like to explore more and more and like different kinds of like advertisers, partners, and yeah, and all that. Yeah.
So no, it's well noted. It's well noted because that's where all the podcasting industry is going to.
Yeah.
Very soon, like all these corporates will be coming knocking, bruh. Like knocking.
Yeah.
So, but there's this thing also that that we're suffering from at the moment. Like with fingers pointing at us. How many people have declined to come on your podcast?
Hey. Well, I wouldn't. Well, hey, you cut me off guard, bro.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it declining per se. I mean, you know, like here's one thing. I mean, with us, okay, like with me, like you'd have you ever heard musicians say for it to be, or like for there to be a collaboration between them, like there has to be some sort of chemistry.
Yeah,
something
energy,
of that
vibes
sort.
and stuff.
You get it?
Yeah.
But with us,
Yeah.
there's nothing as that.
Yeah.
Because okay, at first we start for ourselves, but along the way, like whatever that we do it for the people. For instance, like at Overview Radio now, like we do it for the overviewers.
Yeah.
We do it for the hippos. We do it for, you know, yeah, like our avid listeners and viewers and all that. You get. So there are times whereby, well, like many a times to like we I don't want to say forced, but we have to have guests by like the energies are not in line and all that, and you always have to fluctuate your energies per guest. You get it?
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, I would tell you this, people don't know my natural character. Because like they watch me can I live various kinds of people, and I always have to elevate or tone down my energies and character to accommodate like whoever guest that I'm hosting, just so that they can be entertained or just so that they can properly comprehend whatever the conversations or like the message of the podcast is there. So like there are times whereby someone is asking to come through, and then like you tell them that Ash, okay, now is not the right time. Like as much as Lerona like that, I guess by now like you would invite a guest and then he will tell you that okay, I'll call, I like to come, but now is not the right time. You get it? I mean, timing is very important as well. You get me? I mean, yeah, like that time saying like for me, I won't call it declining. For instance, like do like there's this as well. There's this miss what? Like,
Misconception.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
there's this misconception of people who think that I'm coming to a or like having a podcast session or an interview would somehow instantly change your life or whatsoever. Kind of like it would automatically elevate you to a certain extent. You get it?
Yeah.
It's you know what changes your life and what elevates you is your character. You get it? Podcasts exist to unlimit you from the limitations that you always had go radio and look TV. You get it? So like when you come to the podcast as a guest, you have to unleash your your inner lion and your inner being, and sell yourself properly. You get it? And for you to sell yourself to the nation, like you have to have some sort of what? Like you need to have some sort of a trail that you can talk about or that you can work on. You get it? I mean, you can get hit up by a kid out there, what are you? Like, I would like to be on your podcast, yada yada. And then I'll tell him when I get, okay, cool, kid, like you're very talented, but you know what? Try to build profile, Bailey.
Yeah.
And then like I'll definitely give you a chance in future after you building profile. Because if you watch like the podcast, I mean, on average, like the interviews goes or the session goes for like an hour or so on average. So like if you just are like a new kid on the block without a certain profile, like what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So like podcasts are all about like they're mainly about conversations. Like we converse, and like there has to be something there to talk about. You get it? Like for us at Overview Podcast, I mean, we don't necessarily like you see that I corrected you earlier, like when you said like the celebrity interview. Yeah. It's not a celebrity interview, it's a guest interview because it's open for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone who has an interesting story to tell. And I always head up, like if I see someone who has an interesting story to tell or interesting life going on, like I usually hit them up and then like I would invite them to the podcast and then like we get to sit down and all that because it's for the people,
For the people.
Yeah, like we try to make it as conscious as much. You get it?
Yeah.
So at times it's not that like we are declining the request to come through or whatsoever. Like it's just that we could tell okay, no, now it's not the right time and all that. Like let us wait a little bit. You get it?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there are people there are people who would say bullshit about you and your platform, and then like the following day they send you a text or like they call you, they'll tell you that and I I have something going on, please can I please come through to the podcast, like that one, you decline like instantly. Yeah.
So the reason why I was asking this, like, I'll talk more about, I'll ask you more questions about what, because you provided a lot of answers.
Yeah.
Ichai.
Yeah.
Ichai.
Yeah, can I drink?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a safe space. Ichai. I once invited a Grootman.
Yeah.
Someone that will grow up at Mali.
Yeah, like who's that? Like say, who's this? Who's the say his name?
Okay, I once bumped into Selolwane.
Oh, Dipsy.
Yeah, Dipsy.
Yeah, U10.
Yeah, U10.
Yeah.
Bro. I bumped into him by the shops there. In fact, I called him at first.
Yeah.
I was like, Mr. Selolwane, Dumisan, I would like to do an interview with you.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. My schedule is full. Like, can you please call me on the 28th of September?
Yeah.
That was last year.
Yeah.
And then I called him. But no, fortunately, there was a tournament which was happening. I think it was in Orapa.
Yeah.
He was one of the facilitators. And so up until like I gave him like a chance for maybe he should just like when he's calm, when he's back in the city.
Yeah.
I bumped into him, go Game City.
Yeah.
I introduced myself, like now we're meeting each other for the first time.
Or like before you hit him up through a phone call.
Yeah, no, that was after I hit him up through a phone call. So
okay.
I bumped into him. I'm like, Mr. Selolwane, it's to me signing away from the 20th Avenue podcast. I'm like, hey, kind of my guy for coach, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, but my dad like already the podcast, never found about the podcast, because now it's ill. Yeah. And then, this is my brother. I don't know if he'll be upset at me. The second one, Exozo.
Yeah.
This is my homie, like, he's my homie, but I don't know if he'll be upset at me.
Yeah, exotic.
Exotic. Last year when he was doing his Pretty Girls Love Good Music, I said to me, oh, bruh, I think we should do like a Pretty Girls Love Good Music edition episode.
Yeah.
I'm not a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what there's that thing like there are people who there's something they would rather go for a radio interview.
Yeah.
As compared to a podcast.
That's the thing that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like there's this misconception. But here's the funny thing.
Yeah.
Whenever shit hits the fan, we are the first people that they call.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Because they know that like radios won't give them airtime or whatsoever. You know.
Yeah.
So whenever shit hits the fan, like we are the people that they call, and whenever they need marketing or whatsoever, you know. I mean, I've bumped into, I've bumped into Dipsy as well, you know, like at a certain event, and dog, like that is U10, you know, like the legend, you know, that we all admire, that we all love, that we all respect and all that, you know, and the whole team was excited to see him and all that, because one thing with me is that I love people, hey, like one of the reasons why we eventually started this podcast is because of our love towards our heroes and all that, you know. So we tried to approach him and all that, and he gave us an attitude and all that, you know. And then we were like, okay, so I'm not surprised that he said something of that sort to you, you know. But at the end of the day, he's still U10. Yeah. He's still a legend, you know. Yeah, we respect him.
We love him so much.
Yeah, you know, and then but good enough for me, I won't complain that much, because at the same time, I have just plenty of people who are just dying to be
on the podcast.
On the podcast. Wow, when I would say out of 10, I would say maybe 2, 2 out of 10. Whenever I know they would come up with a certain attitude or whatsoever, but you know, at the end of the day, besides that, I just have a whole lot of people they want to be on the podcast, maybe, you know, respected people, you know, dignitaries, they would like to be on a podcast, big artists as well, you know. But at the same time, you know, I always advise people that don't always shy away from making podcasts mainly about celebrities.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So just try to do something of your own.
Something unique.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah, something unique, and then that way, you would carry on without anyone else or whatsoever. Yeah.
So the other thing, so there's been this thing, I call it a thing, whereby they're saying we're all copying our brother MacG from South Africa. So all of us were going to be asking those questions about, did you smash?
Yeah.
Did you do this?
Yeah.
So there's this thing. Not every podcaster was inspired by MacG.
Yeah.
Not that we have anything against MacG or any other person that we've mentioned.
True. Listen, man. I love MacG.
Yeah.
I love Saul Penduka. I love Podcast and Chill. I love Penuel. I love the Penuel show. Do you watch the Penuel show?
I do watch the Penuel show. I love the political views there.
Yeah. You know, I love the Hustlers Corner.
Yeah.
I loved
and culture.
You know, that as well. You know, this Isam, everything South African music. I also love there's a new guy that I just found in SA, the white Zimbabwean guy.
The white Zimbabwean guy?
Yeah.
The small guy. He has a small body. From Cape Town.
I'm not too sure, because I only saw him sitting down interviewing Penuel.
Oh yeah, that's the guy. He's true. They're talking about culture and stuff.
Hey, exactly.
I forgot the name.
Yeah. And then there's the Breakfast Club, there's Joe Rogan, there's Joe Biden and all that. Yeah, and then there's I love 20th Avenue podcast, you know, but one thing, to be honest, podcasting is a new thing in BW.
Yeah.
Let us be honest.
Yeah.
It's a new thing. Most of the people, they think that podcasting is, you know, it's a MacG thing, organize a podcast and chill thing.
Yeah.
They don't know other podcasts.
They don't know other podcasts.
You get it?
Yeah.
You know, they don't know other productions in or like that, not necessarily podcasts, but like that in line with it, because like we used to have like the microwave boys before, like before like podcasts like they became rife and all that. There's the Cliff, like the Gareth Cliff podcast as well.
Yeah, Cliff Central.
You get it? Yeah. So like I've realized that people who would say like we are copying podcast in Chile and all that. There are people by now like they don't watch podcasts. You get it?
They only got exposed to podcasts through MacG.
Exactly.
Ah.
And like besides that, they don't know anything else besides that. You watch them, what guys like? Do you watch the Breakfast Club? Do you guys watch do you guys know Salami? Like, do you guys know Envy? Do you guys know Angela Yee?
Even the local ones, Eyes of Brandon.
Yeah, there was Eyes of Brandon as well. You know,
there's this old pal, what's his name?
Mogobe Nugget.
Yeah, and then there's this young gent, what's his name? Paul Mtawarira. Something Mtawarira.
I know, like that one, I don't know.
Like, it's buzzing, you should check it out.
Oh, okay.
It's a local podcast.
Oh, okay, like, is it new?
I checked, like, they're on 50-something episodes.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's quite dope.
Yeah, no, like, I'll check it out. So, like, yeah, people would say, you know, do like, we're trying to copy this guy whosoever, this and that, do like that. People who do like that, new on podcasting, and like they were introduced to podcasting by MacG and Sol and all that, you know. So to them, do like that's the only podcast that they know besides us. You get it?
Yeah.
Happy like people have this thing, né? Black people in Botswana have this thing, you know, like when you express yourself and when you show this character, like your character, you like they'll just say that like you're copying someone.
Yeah.
You know, do like you know, like if you be loud, if you just be, you know, do like if you laugh out loud, if you just be yourself, say shit and be as bold as you can, you know, yeah, like they'll just say that like you're copying someone. You know, I mean, do like that's a norm. Yamo Botswana do, you know. I mean, whenever like you come up with something new, like they always find someone that they would say that you are copying. Yeah. You get it? Yeah, I mean, do like everyone like they would just, you know, like you think of like the big people. I remember when MacG is pulled through. Do like they were saying that she's copying Bonang Mateo.
Nah. Kana she's natural. Kana if you hear her talking off camera, bro, like that's it.
You get it?
Yeah.
Do like I remember no like my petla no like is copying someone. I think libo view like that copying someone, right? Hey, like something of that sort.
But we once had a legend who really copied someone. Huh? Remember Bulldog?
Yeah, Bulldog, yeah.
He copied
Zegezeg, yeah. Yeah, Adam, the tongi guy. Yeah, definitely. So, do like all that thing is just bullshit, man. Happen like at the same time. There is nothing wrong with you know, like I hope that I said it right. You know, yeah, like it means that, or like when you see like a certain idea there, or like a certain something there, you know, like you take it, good, like you take something from there and then like that element and then you include it in your product. You go to like the 20th Avenue, you get one element there, you put it in, you know, like that's just how it works, you know, like even creativity, like that's just how it works, hella. In general, I mean, do like just look at Benz and Mercedes right now.
Yeah.
Do like they're just similar.
They complement each other.
You get it? Yeah. Each and every edition of like starve yourself from, you know, do like a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, do like the guys now like they cannot get into that because like they are not ready to, you know, like to get down and dig the trenches and all that. You get me? Yeah, but I believe you know, like they would eventually get there and all that, you know. But yeah, like we've seen like a couple of guys from radio pulling through, making their own podcast.
I've seen Brendo's podcast.
Yeah,
I've seen
even
Ria
Kopi. Yeah, Ria Kopi. Even who else? I don't like.
Ayeket is coming also.
Oh, okay, where?
She'll be starting her own podcast. I thought maybe she'll be coming under the Overview Radio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, like, I don't know about that. Yeah, but like, whenever she's ready to, like, she can always hit us up and then, like, you know, yeah, like, we can move the magic for her.
Yeah. So ublowile ano like that. You're now a celebrity also, like you're a brand outside the overview radio.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. But I make a blow.
Ublowile like that.
Blow it by.
Blow it by.
For real.
Yeah. I'm wondering, like, if they don't want to place their products on your podcast, why don't they like use you here?
Use me.
Yeah.
Alone.
Other corporates. Alone. Like everybody like our podcast, like kitilonyana here.
Oh yeah.
Why don't you use the individual now? Because this is a powerful force.
You know, do like Obana do like one thing with Botswana, ne? Do like you need not Botswana, like let me correct this. Like one thing with creative business and all that, you need a proper administration team or management in place. You get it? So like for me do like it hasn't been about me mostly, but about Overview Radio and the podcast. You get it? So maybe now and later on like that, or maybe next year, do like that's only when I would start to focus on myself as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, do like we started this podcast from the ground with Cheap Boost and all that. So like we had to focus like on this baby. You get it? Yeah, until a certain time, you know what? Okay, dude, like yeah, the brand is here now. So like it can have maybe like its management there, and like learn like we can manage, like we can have someone coming in with admin, like putting an admin into our brands and all that.
Yeah.
You get it? So like I would say this in the meantime, dude, like I haven't had proper administration structures, you know, pumping into me and all that, you know. Right now, like the focus is on to Overview podcast, Overview Radio as a platform and all that. You get, yeah.
No, this is a conversation that we can actually have as brothers outside the studio.
Yeah.
Hey, outside the studio, we put it down on paper.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, we send emails and stuff like that.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So that like we can get it going. Yeah.
So the reason why I get blowing, bro, you played a significant role on this young girl, lady. Malazona khati girl khati karo khona maitseo like utlwela bat. Vusi.
Oh, Vusi. Oh, okay.
We didn't know her story, bro. Like that interview that you did, bro. Like
with her.
It simply shows the impact of podcasts.
Yeah, true.
Simply shows the impact of podcasts, and also of you as the host. And also shout out to your brother, Flaze.
Yeah, the hippo.
The hippo, number 2.
Yeah, I know number 1. I get it like it's the biggest.
It's the biggest. So you guys played a significant role, and shout out to Tsepang Mabaila, my former neighbor, go CPD.
Yeah.
He put in his resources to take the young lady
bro,
to school.
but listen, okay, yeah. Like here's the thing, ne? Mabaila never did anything for Vusi that time. Okay, yeah. No, let me clarify this, ne? Mabaila is my brother. You know, we talked, dog, let me show you, I love Tsepam Mabaila, bro. Like he's my brother for days. Like that's how I treat him.
No, we'll edit this part out.
You get it?
Yeah.
So this is what happened, ne? I get like Vusi came to the show.
Yeah.
You know, like she said her story and all that. You see. And then after that, like during that episode, like we could tell her, you know, dude, like this girl, like she really wants to go back to school. You get it? So like it was Overview Radio that facilitated everything for her.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
So like Overview Radio, like it was able to partner with like some certain schools and financiers and all that, and it was definitely not Tsepam Mabila. Dude, like I'm not saying this out of spite or anything, but Tsepam Mabila, dude, like never contributed to Vusi going back to school or anything. You get it? Because like she even called me Vusi and Tare. Dog, kind of like BJB has posted this, is saying Tsepam Mabila took me to school, yada stuff like that, but like that was never the case. Wawan. And like by that time, like the issue was flying. Yeah. I mean, like the BJB story and all that, it was flying, and then I was like, okay, you know, like just leave it there, because like at the end of the day, we're not doing it for attention or whatsoever. Like we're just doing it to assist you to reach your dream as well, you know. And even from there, we even taken we have even taken it as CSR.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like we did this with Vusi. Like we can make it possible with other people out there around the country.
Yeah.
Because after Vusi, like we started receiving calls
Mm.
from various people around the country, teachers, parents, yada yada yada. Yo, there's this student, like the dropout. She dropped out because she was raped, and then like she got to have a child, but now like she was bright, she has to go back to school and all that. You know what? Like we can actually take this as our CSR as overview radio. And like we ever since that time, like we started doing that CSR, and like we started engaging with private schools around the country, partnering with them and tuition centers, as well as financiers like around the country. And like I'm happy to say this. Altogether, since February, like we've taken back 11 young girls to school. Like 11 young girls to school. So like some like we went. I get it for Vusi. It was different because like she's a public figure already. She's well known. So like it was obviously going to be like a big issue that like she went back to school. More so that like she came to the podcast telling us like she wants to go back to school and all that. So like for other kids out there, like we'll talk with them, their parents and the teachers and all that, and like we have to protect their identities, like their identities and all that, or like we shouldn't necessarily go public about it, stuff like that. But as it stands, I mean, between February and November now, I'm happy to say that like we've taken back 11 young girls back to school, and as for the Vusi factor, like I was saying, Tshepa Mabele wasn't part of it at all. Like the school, okay, overview radio, the school, and like setting financial, like they, they just came on board and like made it happen. You get it, and Tshepa Mabele was part of it. I understand why people think that he was part of it because BJB, like you got to post that Abu Tshepa Mabele yada yada, so like the whole country has this impression about it, Tshepa Mabele and everything, but
bruh, I don't know what to say, bro. Like the only thing that I can say is thank you, bro.
For what, bro?
Thank you, bro. Like we have a lot of people that are struggling out there.
Yeah.
And we need more people like you. We need more podcasters like you. We need more individuals like you who help. Like what about Botswana?
Yeah.
Education is important.
Yeah.
So,
like I say, bro. Okay, yeah, sorry.
So having like this goes to corporates actually.
Yeah.
This is now me speaking. I get an impact of a podcast. Like what my brother Joey was saying earlier on, you can't be having your own podcast promoting your own products.
Yeah.
Rather endorse podcasts so that we create more impact.
Exactly.
You never know. That's your next CEO. The one that we help to take to school.
Yeah.
The one that will help to find a job. The one that will help to write an application data team.
100%.
You never know who that is. Come also can out in our room.
Yeah, true, dude. Like 100%. And like I said, bro, people have this thing of like thinking that whenever like I say something, dude, like I'll be just bullshitting or trying to shift the blame from the government to whatsoever. Like I said, guys, like like another private sector. Like I said, dude, like 20th Avenue is a private sector. Overview podcast and radio whatsoever, dude, like they are private sectors. There's how we can lay a hand in some certain situations and all that. The buck doesn't only stop with podcasters only, but as creatives, got like creatives in general. I mean, like creatives are these people by now who like they're always saying that like they need support, yada yada. Yes, creatives, like the creative sector does need support, but at the same time, like let us try to give out something. Let us try to help out someone out there. Like this is how like our blessings come back to us at the end of the day. Like how it goes. Like blessed is the hard thing is the hand that
gives.
Yeah, that gives and all that.
Yeah.
Get me? Yeah, but podcasters, guys, like we have right now, like we are the go-to guys now. So like just try by all means to have an impact in a way. You get it, like in just a way, man. I mean, Nahela, I mean, dude, like me coming from Overview Radio, I'd say that, dude, like yeah, I'm proud that Overview podcast has put on, dude, like a whole lot of people and all that. You know, I mean, like we've helped out like a whole lot of individuals and causes and all that. You know, so like I think that now, you know, dude, like it's like it's only funny that. You know, people would think that, you know, they're like, we're just out there to destroy people's lives and all that. But if you just ask them to sit down and count all the good that we have done out there, like for the community and all that, dude, like people would actually see that, you know, dude, like we exist for, dude, like for a greater good, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, bro, like the journey is just starting, bro.
Yeah. Yeah,
let's
definitely.
push, bro, and see where it will take us. And I think on the way, let's mentor young kids.
Like, let's what?
Mentor young kids.
Yeah, well, yeah, dude, like I don't have a problem with mentoring and all that, but like, God, like I just feel, you know, like the time is not right for me. Like the time is not right for me to start mentoring anyone yet. But
yeah,
you know, like if I have the chance and all that, you know, dude, like I'll always help out whoever, you know, like is looking out, you know, like they need my help and all that. I mean, dude, like I have, you know, dude, like I believe that people would come forth and say, you know what, dude, like I'm actually hit up Joey the other time, you know, yeah, looking for or asking for a certain advice.
Yeah.
And you know, dude, like I was always happy. Like I have always been happy to give out advices, man. You know, I might not respond now or give her that advice today and all that. But eventually, you know, dude, like I get back to people and all that.
Yeah.
You get it, yeah. So yeah, but like you say, whoever is able to mentor people, because guys, you know, like the creative industry works in the simple way. Like it's simple. Like we just need to have new people coming in.
Yeah.
You know, because God, like it has to go like this. Like let us have new people coming in, you know, do like earlier on, like we were chilling on. I get it. You know, like you know that fella is part of Overview podcast now.
Yeah.
Like fella, like the producer. So like we were chilling with young producers earlier on, bo, like we didn't on the track, bo, Wake, and all that, you know, and we were just so happy to have them around.
Yeah.
Because and like we were even telling them that yo guys do like you know, and as I would grow into it and all that, you know, like I would obviously like to mentor like people and all that, you know, like especially you know especially on public speaking.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Because like that's the most important thing in life, you know, like if you have like the right speaking skills and all that, I believe that you can maneuver your way through whatever situation that you encounter in life.
Yeah.
You get it? And I believe that's the
Hey, I know what's on your special guest. Special guest.
There's a special guest out here. Yeah, you know, yeah.
Where's the fucking deaf of the fucking building?
Come through.
He's coming through.
Why didn't you tell me go at deaf?
No, like he said.
No, before it's in. Guys, can you guess who's in the building?
Yo, guys, yeah, like we have like a special guest here. Yeah, like let me, bring the chair over here. You know, yeah, they're like, man, it's not a surprise that like she's here. I mean, like she's always with me, man.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to have my